Welcome to Confessions of a Wannabe It Girl. I'm your host, Marley Freygang, and I'm here to help you filter out all the bullshit and become the next It Girl. This podcast explores the reality of what it really takes to make it out there. As it turns out, it is way less Instagrammable than I thought it was going to be. I'm still very much a work in progress, but there's simply nothing else I'd rather be doing than chasing my dreams. So let's learn from my mistakes and work together to achieve our dreams with more confidence, clarity, and direction. Let's get after it. Hi guys, and welcome back to Confessions of a Wannabe It Girl. Today, our resident gossip expert is back, Lauren from Lauren's Latest. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me. I love being here with you.
I love having you here. We need just like some good celeb gossip, some tea. You know, it's end of summer. We're transitioning back into that mindset. What is that mindset? You know,
like hustle, new school year, new work year,
right?
Hustle, you know,
hustle vibe.
culture.
But before that, let's just enjoy our last moments of summer, drinking some drinks on the beach.
Hell yeah.
Gossiping it up.
Hell yeah, that's what we're here to do.
Amazing. Oh, and big congrats to Lauren and her growth on her account. Make sure to be following her at Lauren's Latest.
Yes, thank you. 10K and growing.
10K and almost a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10K and a half.
Yeah.
I'll
We're
give it
there.
to myself, yeah.
Yeah. She should be more proud. And a good American sponsorship.
A good American sponsorship. That's the best. Honestly, every step closer to the Kardashians is a win in my book.
Couldn't agree. Oh, we can talk about that. I have things to say. I just finished the new season.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, we'll touch on that. Okay. All right. Well, I want to start in a place that is close to the podcasting world. I want to talk about all this Bobbi Althoff and Drake.
Yes, so much drama.
Boy, I don't get what's going on. I like sort of know, but I don't know. I've seen clips from BFFs, but I have no idea what's going on.
So she was originally like a mom talk TikToker,
Yes.
and she like kind of became popular because she like won't share her kids' faces or their names. So like she refers to her kids as Robert or something like that, and then Concrete, like as a joke.
Yeah.
So she's kind of become big on TikTok from that. Randomly, she somehow landed an interview with Drake, and she has this really like deadpan, like
Awkward comedy.
awkward kind of comedy. And so they're just like sitting in bed drinking wine and like kind of having an awkward conversation. It was all over the place. It was viral. I mean, people love Drake, and like she was just providing this like different kind of humor.
Right.
And she's been doing it with a bunch of other, I think she did it with like Lil Yachty. She did it with Tyga. So she's kind of
She
like,
did it with the girl who's like canceled now, too.
yeah.
Miranda Sings or whatever.
Oh, yeah. So like she like has like good clientele that she's working with.
Yeah.
And so it kind of got blown out of proportion literally the other day because Dave Portnoy's girlfriend, Silvana, said, oh, I heard that she slept with Drake and she's leaving her husband for Drake. Which like, so out of like left field. Like on what basis was that rumor
And
from?
why did Dave Portnoy's girlfriend go like live with that?
I think she just told Dave, and then Dave brought it up on BFFs.
He brought it up while they're on the podcast.
On the podcast,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, but the crazy part is whoever edits their stuff bleeped it out to make it sound more salacious. Like Dave had a conversation with Bobbi where she basically was like I'm not going to comment on it, but like, no, that's absolutely not true.
Right.
But when they edited it to promote the podcast, they bleeped it out to make it seem like Bobbi had slept with him. And
I'd be pissed.
And so Dave's like went on his Instagram and was like, whoa, like this was so not what was meant to happen. Like I just called out my editor for posting something like that. Like that's not the kind of thing we're trying to promote. And like I guess he's like having words with whoever his editor is. And so it turned into like a whole thing, and he was like, and then I think Bobbi posted a screenshot of their conversation where he was like, hey, Dave was like, hey, I heard X, Y, and Z. And she was like, I'm not going to comment, but like, no, that's not true. And she was like, don't want to have to like post my screenshots, but like, this is the facts. So
it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. She never slept with Drake.
Yeah.
She's just got
Is
this
she
like
married? She's married.
She's married. She has 2 kids. But the crazy part is that their interview was the whole interview was taken down from.
Yeah. So then she pulls the whole Drake
so there was
interview.
there was something, I think, when she was talking either with Lil Yachty or Tyga, where they FaceTime Drake. It must have been Tyga. They FaceTime Drake, and he was like, oh my gosh, I accidentally deleted our interview off of whatever platform it was on. I want to say YouTube. And so people were wondering like what happened with that. But then it like really disappeared from the internet, and now it's amidst like this rumor of like she hooked up with Drake, but she didn't actually hook up with Drake. So
okay, so I think they made a sticky situation that was like blown out, taken out of context, didn't actually happen, and then they were all like, all right, let's mastermind this shit. And now I think it's a PR stunt.
100%. Well, and I don't think Dave Portnoy meant to do it. Like,
no, I don't think he did.
Him. Like, I don't think that like he was trying, because I feel like he's had his moments of like controversy.
He's on his redemption tour, though.
Like, no, and honestly, I love Dave Portnoy. Like, catch me listening to BFFs all the time. Love Dave Portnoy.
We have to get into that in a second.
But I think like his editor like truly was like, ooh, I'm going to make a moment out of something that's not a moment. And like kind of, it backfired in a way that like Dave Portnoy was not meaning to cause that kind of stir, and it ended up happening. And so then he like, him and her had to come forward and like clarify everything. But yeah.
Right. And now I think Bobbi's team and Drake's team were probably like, all right, let's like make a mountain out of a molehill here.
100%.
And like she's gonna be like in his music video or something.
I would love that. That would be a perfect, like I feel like that's a girl boss town like kind of thing.
Okay,
where
she
like
said that. Yeah. I was about to say I need to give her credit.
GBT.
Yeah, GBT. Like I didn't make that up. Like let's be very clear. Like she said that, and I was like, I get that.
Okay, well I was glad that was my initial reaction.
I love that
like
you
GBT.
knew. Yeah, I love that you knew it was her. Shout out to GBT. But yeah, I feel like now they were like, all right, well we have to do something with that. She was at the concert.
She was at the concert and she posted content looking so unfazed. Like if that were me on the floor at Drake, I'd be living it up. I'd be fangirling. I'd be throwing my bra up there just like the other girls.
But like to be completely honest, like she doesn't strike me as Drake's type.
No, she does not strike me.
I thought when I saw the clip of them like in bed and he was like, I'd hit it. I thought he was like fucking with her. Like he was like, this will be like a funny clip. We have to remember that Drake is also an actor. Yeah, like he came up on Degrassi. Like he was probably like improving off of it too. Like I don't know, like that podcast is not serious. It's like a dry satire humor.
100%.
And like I think like there's sure we can always imagine there's something or whatnot, but like I do think
it's fun to speculate.
It's fun to speculate, totally. But like I don't think like that was meant that way.
No, me neither.
Whatnot.
I will say Drake was looking real good in that interview.
Yeah,
though.
agreed.
Like the words he was every time he would just speak, I'm just like, oh, you're really hot.
I'm like, you really should do more interviews.
No, literally,
sir.
I'm like, I need more Drake content because I'm living for this interview right now.
Yeah, he's odd one. It's funny. I've seen like half reactions from his tour that are like so like love Drake, like great performer ever, and then I've seen other people be like, I wish he would perform one song the way it's written so I could sing the lyrics.
Oh, I've heard that too. I heard that too. Well, did you see that he gave a Birkin to someone at his show last night?
Was that in LA?
Yeah, it was in LA last night. I heard about it in my Pilates class this morning.
Wow, I saw it on TikTok.
And then it was all over the internet. I'm like, if only I could have been. But like, that someone who's sitting in the front row of that show could afford a Birkin. Why don't you give it to someone who's like sitting in the 500s?
Right, pull a random ticket or something.
Yeah, literally, like random ticket. A girl who like spent all her life savings to go to this concert, not some like bougie girl who's like in the front row and probably was already wearing a Birkin to begin with.
Who would take a Birkin to a GA?
Fair enough. Well, actually, they don't even let bags that size in anymore.
That's true.
But besides the point, she can definitely afford a Birkin. The girls in the 500 level, I know they can't because I'd be up there.
While we're on the music world, let's talk about Lizzo.
Lizzo, oh my gosh. Like, who would have thought that this controversy that's hitting her is what would be happening with her if she's, known for her body positivity and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And 3 of her backup dancers are accusing
her.
That
were
on the show. Are accusing her of like body shaming, fat shaming, and then like.
Wait, they're body shaming?
Body shaming, yeah. Which like.
What is like saying they're too big or they're too skinny to be big?
Too big. I think too big. I think like they were like shamed for, which like. Lizzo's a bigger girl and like not a bad thing.
That's the
She's
whole
gorgeous.
point.
Right. Lizzo's all about body positivity. And then like there was some like sexual aspect to it too where they were kind of like.
Yeah, I heard they went out in Amsterdam, which I have been to a similar version of the show.
Yeah.
And it's like a tourist trap though too. It's not like.
I think it was a situation where they felt like almost forced into it.
Yes,
and like there
that's
was like,
what I got
and then
too.
like a second time around they got kind of put into the situation as well. So it wasn't like fully with their consent, right? Is my gathering of it,
or they felt pressured, like this is part of my job.
Mm-hmm.
And see, I, whatever, this is horrible, but like at the same time, I do feel like it is just so confusing. If you are that big of a figurehead, you think these people are your friends and they're acting this way because they're your friends,
yeah.
But like really, they're acting this way because they feel indebted to you, and you're like. that's like, it's a lot of responsibility. And
yeah.
it sounds like she mistreated the responsibility.
Yeah, for sure. It's really surprising just because, like, that's not how we, like, know Lizzo. That's not how she, like, presents herself.
Right.
But I think the crazy thing, too, is that, like, I feel like a lot of times when stuff like this happens, people come forward and be like, oh my gosh, like, that is not what I know about her. But, like, she's not really had anyone who's
Nobody's
a public
come forward.
Yeah, no public figures have been like, that's not the Lizzo I know. Like, everyone's just kind of been silent. And then there was, like, a whole Beyonce thing where she, like, took Lizzo's name out. She, like, didn't say Lizzo's name as one of her lyrics in the show.
I heard about this in the concert.
And so then people were like, oh, is she, like, shading Lizzo? But then I guess she, like, at another show, she re-added her name back in. So, like, it wasn't intentional, I guess. I don't really know.
I don't know. I feel like Beyonce is somebody who would take somebody, you know, somebody who's faced a lot of, you know, uphill battle to be where she is, would maybe take out her name. But then I guess she added back in because she's not sure.
Yeah. So, like, I guess we're not really sure.
Guilted. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know, but that was kind of made it seem like, okay, there's maybe some truth to this whole Lizzo thing. But I feel like it's unfortunate just because, like, I feel like Lizzo was someone that people really looked up to, and they like,
they're like not removing her song from the Barbie movie.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. It's just it's definitely unfortunate. I mean, obviously, if the allegations are true, like, that's really sad that these girls went through that.
Right.
But, you know, I mean, I'm really shocked. Like, that doesn't seem like Lizzo's character from what I know about her.
Not somebody who was a big Lizzo fan, but not somebody who was not an unfan. Yeah, it just seems shocking from the perception that she put out that this would even happen.
I know. It's definitely shocking. But, like, obviously, if it did, like, these girls definitely, like, it's worth it to them to go and, like, fight this case and, like, get their justice. Like, of course, if this obviously happened, like, so sorry.
She has an Emmy for that show that they were in.
I know. It's really crazy.
It's really, like, makes me just get the ickiest feeling.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's whoever, there's just ick all over it.
Yeah, agreed.
But before I want to leave the concert music world, I want to go back to what we were saying about Dave Portnoy.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of feel like he's on his redemption tour.
Yeah, he's on almost like his revenge era because, you know, he's a huge Swiftie.
I'm saying he has gained so much fandom, like, you know, retiring fuckboy energy by being a Swiftie.
He's such a Swiftie, and it, like, kills me because it's so uncharacteristic for him.
Yes.
But, like, he loves Taylor Swift. Like, he is wearing the bracelets to the show.
Right,
he's wearing custom shirt. Yeah, the jacket, like, everything. I'm living for it. I love him. I think he's so funny. And, like, sure, he's, like, done things in the past, like, people don't agree with. But, like, I think he's super cool. I think his girlfriend Silvana is super cool. I love them. I watch the podcast. I watch them on TikTok.
Yeah.
Silvana, like, they're great.
I end up watching a lot of BFF's clips, but, like, I don't know. I'm so a little resistant to thinking he's, like, A-okay now, but, like, I want to believe it. Like, I really do. Like, I love the Era's jacket, and I do love that he's a Swiftie. It does make me feel like he's, like, on the side.
100%. Like, that's such a win for, like, him, because the Swiftie community is, like, kind of standing behind him with it. So.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, people should grow and evolve.
For sure. And I think it's okay to, like someone who's previously done wrong, and, like, for them to grow and change, and for you to like who they've grown and changed to be.
Yeah. That's fair. That's so fair.
Growth.
Speaking of growth, let's talk about grossing in the box office.
Oh, yeah.
The summer of Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Barbenheimer. You've seen both.
I've seen both.
I've seen both. Yeah. What'd you like better? It's hard to compare the two.
It's like comparing
really
an apple to a swimming pool. Like,
no,
they're
literally,
so
that's a great
They're
comparison.
not even both.
Yeah.
They're not both fruits.
Right.
No,
No, definitely not.
Really, really different. What about you? Do you have a...
It's really hard to compare. I didn't like one more than the other. I think I did Barbie first, then Oppenheimer.
You did them back to back. I didn't do them back to back.
Yeah. Same day, back to back. It was a long day. I will say that, but it was good.
Did you dress up?
I didn't dress up. I'm like, the only thing I wear is black. So, like, for me to wear pink would be so uncharacteristic of me.
Sure.
But I really liked both. I thought Barbie was super cute. It had, like, such good messaging, like a good story at the end of the day. Honestly, I didn't really know what the plot of the movie was. I just knew, obviously, that the movie was coming out. So the plot was, like, not at all what I was thinking. But it was cute. It was super fun and, like, pink and, you know, like, girl power, which it's always nice to see.
I was really impressed with the movie, even though, and friends had told me, they were like, I don't know, I feel like, you know, it's not, you know, as pro-feminist that like, you know, people are cracking it up to be, or like, you know, these are ideas we had a while ago or whatever. Some people said it to me, and I kind of went into it being like, let's see what they can do. And then I was floored.
Yeah.
I was absolutely floored. I mean, I'm going to talk about the things that aren't so obvious to everybody else, but like the production value.
Oh my God, unreal.
The
and I kind of
props.
I kind of liked that it was like a little bit, like it looked like it was fake a little bit. And it looked kind of proppy. Like it's Barbie world. It's obviously not real.
I also felt like they addressed a lot of the issues.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I really appreciated.
But not in like a way that's like overwhelming or like too much.
I agree. And I just like, the spoiler alert, the part where Ken gets knocked out on the beach and he has to go to the hospital, and the hospital like unfolds out of the truck. Like it's all practical.
100%. And if you play with Barbies when you're little, you know that that's how the functionality of those toys work.
The decal is stickered on. Like
100%.
It was just like
they played into like the kitschiness of it.
Right. Like the appreciation. I thought the script was good. I thought the acting was good. I mean, like
soundtrack was A1.
Yeah. The soundtrack really slaps.
Really slaps.
Really, really slaps.
Catch me like bopping that in my car, singing all the words.
The only thing is like, I didn't expect them to be in Barbie world. I thought they were going to be in the real world a lot more.
Almost like a life-size kind of movie.
Yeah.
But I guess, I mean, that's already been done. So yeah, I didn't really know what to expect, honestly. So when you like, you don't have many expectations, it's hard to like, you know, not meet expectations or to like, you know, like that.
Right.
I thought it was super cute though. Super fun. Great message for girls. And honestly, I think is definitely more of an adult movie.
I think it's a great message for men.
Oh, it is a great message for men.
Because it's like there's so many ways to like look at it. It's like how they feel and how men could feel when they are in Barbie land.
Yeah.
And then when they go back and they feel like the men are taking over in Barbie land, and then like the Kens later are like, you know, it was so hard and the Barbies understand it. I'm like, oh.
It's like so opposite of what our world's actually like.
And there was an interesting, I'm so sorry, I have no idea who said this. It was a very interesting clip. They were like, you know, talking about how, you know, it looks like it's a patriarchy or a matriarchy society. And it's like really like it shouldn't be either. We need to like find the middle of it.
Ground,
like, you don't want it swings one way or the other.
Right.
But that's just not realistic in life. Yeah.
When I feel like they did a good job. Like it was just like, it wasn't that, like I don't think that the Kens felt less than until they went to the real world and saw that like the real world is a place where men, you know, really thrive and prosper and women don't as much.
But I love how he just thinks it's about horses.
Right. Oh my God. So he's like the people who have horses are the powerful ones.
Yeah.
Like, so crazy.
So
the Mojo
funny.
Dojo
Casa.
Yeah, insane. So funny. I feel like the commentary that I've seen around that and like the Knuff sweatshirt, like that stuff is just so funny to me. Like looking on it after watching the movie, it was just really funny.
I love it. I mean, it's funny. I haven't gone to a movie in a while. I'd say the last time this happened would be Black Widow, and wanted to go home and buy merch. Yeah. Like I was like, I will spend money on Barbie, and I have 100%. I have no problem admitting it. I haven't yet, though, to be honest, which I'm very proud of. But like so many great collabs, marketing on fleek.
The marketing was everything, and I work in marketing, so like, we had a chance to like pitch them, didn't work out, whatever. But like everything that they did, I mean, they put so much money into the marketing. Yeah. I've seen there's Barbie everything. It's genius.
It's the top grossing Warner Brothers film.
Yeah.
Like Dark Knight Rises. Beat it out.
I mean, surpassed a lot of expectations.
I am worried that Mattel is not going to live up to the expectations with the other million films they're filming to pop
like
out.
The Polly Pocket I saw is like next
Hot
in
Wheels.
line, and they're doing it with like
Lily Collins.
Yeah, Lily Collins. Like you got to do one iconic thing. It's sometimes brands and companies like take it too far. It's like they do like something that's really great, blows it out of the water, is awesome. And then they just don't know when to stop. And I think there's pride in knowing, like, you know, I'm sure there's a bit of pride, but like, there's good in knowing when to stop and not push your luck a little bit.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, I am excited to see what they'll do. Maybe they will continue, but like, you have to have that team, like that kind of team, like a great writer, a great director, a great cast. And it's like, and I think if anything, also besides all the aspects of this and Oppenheimer that you have to have is you have to have a really good script.
100%.
Like a really, really good script. And I hope we just don't go to like the copy paste, like we want another blockbuster.
Right. And like
vibe.
just like this whole like, you know, men versus women kind of plot. Like because in Polly
I don't want to see that again now in a Mattel
right.
movie.
And in Polly Pocket, the men aren't even like, I don't
even think there's men
in Polly Pockets. Like, I don't know.
I don't think there is.
I don't think there is either. So it like when it wouldn't feel
and I had
the
a lot
same.
of Polly Pockets.
Me too, girl. So many. But yeah, great movie. Oppenheimer was really different. I'm like low-key a history nerd, so I kind of like thrive with that
you
kind of
knew.
stuff.
So that is my one note is like some people who go into Oppenheimer who know nothing.
Yeah.
I grew up in New Mexico. So obviously that is a big part of New Mexican history.
Yeah.
And some people don't, and on top of it, my dad's an engineer. So this is his favorite thing to talk about.
Of course.
And, you know, if you don't know anything, it's kind of hard to have the understanding and pinpoint. And then also, to be completely honest, is Oppenheimer and the atomic bomb even something we really talk about?
Yeah.
Like, outside of this context. So, like, I don't blame people for not knowing, but, like, yeah, you need a little bit of context.
100%. Yeah. And, like, it's not like I had so much context. I, like, knew the gist of it. But, like, and as the story went along, I, like, picked up on things and, like, remembered things just from, like, taking U.S. history as, like, an American citizen in high school. But I thought it was really good. It was a little long. Especially, long, I guess, for me, being that I already had seen Barbie in the same day.
Right.
So that made it a little bit long for me, but it was really good. I liked it. I thought, I mean, Cillian Murphy, excellent. I guess he was in Peaky Blinders, and I'm like, now I'm gonna watch Peaky Blinders because I think he was so great. Florence Pugh was great in it. I didn't realize what her role was in the film.
Yeah,
but I really like her, so I feel like
I do too. I just like her.
Yeah, like her a lot. So great movie overall, though. It's really crazy the Barbenheimer everything that like it transpired to be this like. Not one versus the other, but like together, it was like this one big movie weekend for everyone to celebrate.
Right. And also really driving people back to the box office and like in a weird time of being in a strike. I love Oppenheimer for so many reasons because like, even though I, you know, think at my core, maybe I'm a comedy girly, I really love watching dramatic film, television, thought-provoking. Yeah, like, thought-provoking. I also really love not crystal clear plot lines, and you know how it's jumping between so many different times, and like you kind of have to adjust to the format of how it's being shown. You have to be thinking, and I like
you're on.
I really like that kind of stuff that's on, not all the time, but like I'd say more so than others.
I feel like it definitely can't be all the time, but when it happens, it's like it's nice to have a movie that kind of like makes you think a little bit,
right? And like there has since been a lot of talk about the controversy of the film. And I'm like, it's like there can be controversy with Barbie.
Yeah, there's controversy with everything.
Everything. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, like, you can't make a film that fits everything everywhere.
Yeah, definitely not.
All at once. Just kidding. Just, throw in another Academy Award nominated film. I don't know. I really loved it. I was floored by Cillian Murphy.
So good.
Emily Blunt, though, she's
fantastic.
Yeah,
I love her.
I think, other than Devil Wears Prada, because that's just a great film.
Great movie.
This is the best thing I've seen her in.
Yeah. I've seen her in a bunch of stuff because I feel like she's low-key in a lot of things.
So she's a very, very big deal.
Yeah, big deal.
I feel like if we were to name the A-list women in the world, Margot Robbie, Scarlett Johansson, Emily Blunt are like the three that come into my mind that are opposite.
I feel like she's kind of underrated a little bit. I feel like she flies under the radar, but when she's in something,
she doesn't scandal. Yeah, she doesn't scandal. She doesn't do with love the Leo in the hat going to Nobu with 20-years. She doesn't do that. She's a married woman. Yeah. She does her work and she lets it rest.
And she's great at her work.
Yeah.
And she's not even like thirsty. She's not a thirsty girl.
She's not.
She's like a woman in her career who's successful and knows she's good at her job and just does what she needs to do and moves on to the next project.
Yeah, I genuinely think she's a nice person.
Yeah,
too.
I do too.
Like, and she does Quiet Place and, cares about all the aspects that are involved in the Quiet Place, understanding a little bit of what's going on with deaf community, whatnot. And like, she commits. So
And
like,
let us not forget that she's married to Jim from The Office. I mean, that's the best fact of them all.
I just have to bring this up because I was going to say this. It was so funny. There was this interview, I don't know what it was, and Jim was talking about, not Jim, what's his real name?
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski was saying he was going to visit her while she was filming Mary Poppins.
Mm-hmm.
And
Also a great movie.
Also a great movie. And he's going through customs. Mm-hmm. And the guy is like, what brings you here? And he's like, oh, I'm visiting my wife.
Yeah.
She's in, this little known film remake, live action.
I'm crying. Little known film,
Mary Poppins. And the customs guy is like, who's your wife? And he's like, Emily Blunt. And the customs guy goes, You're married to Emily Blunt?
It's so funny.
And let alone, he's a very famous actor as well.
Of course. But, he was in disbelief. This guy can't be.
This guy?
He's so cute. Honestly, he glowed up post The Office.
They're cute.
He's great.
He's great. Love them. Good old Barbenheimer. And I guess we're really in the music industry here. Cardi B throwing the mic in Vegas.
Crazy. So the weird thing is that I had heard was that it was hot. It's summer. It's Vegas.
It's hot. It's it was 101 there on Wednesday.
So hot. Disgusting. I can't even fathom that.
Yeah.
But she had said at the beginning of the show, splash me with water, that kind of stuff. So that
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Shit.
So she had said that, but I mean, I don't think that she was expecting someone to just chuck the water at her like that.
Yeah, that was a little aggressive.
Yeah, I think it was more it was kind of splash me kind of thing. Whereas don't
spray me with the water gun, not
exactly.
Chuck a water bottle at me.
Exactly. So, but her response was just so aggressive.
Yeah,
I heard they were the company who makes the microphone. I actually think it's the same microphone.
Sure,
I think it is. I'm almost positive that it is. The guy in charge was selling the mic, the actual mic that was thrown for $100,000 for charity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Use it.
Yep.
Use it.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not going to stand in front of somebody doing something for a good buck.
For sure.
For charity on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always been such team Cardi.
Really? Versus Nicki, or just in general?
I hate that they're even pinned against each other.
It's not good to pit women against women.
I hate that they're even pinned against each other, but then they have had public brawls.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And I just really like her. I saw her at Coachella. She was pregnant. She did a really short set because she was pregnant. And she was dancing. I've just always liked her. She's
grown on me a lot. I mean, I love WAP. That's that brings me back
Yellow.
to my days.
I just like it.
Wow, throwing it back. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. I've really always since she put out music.
Yeah.
And I was just I don't want to see you have a controversy. Yeah. I just don't. But I'm not going to turn
it
over
really fast though. I feel it was talked about and it was in the media, and there was all the media and press about it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of blowed over a little bit.
And I heard that she threw the mic and didn't even hit the person.
Yeah, she didn't even hit the right girl.
Yeah. I was
imagine that. Honestly, it's kind of like a Regina George moment. Hit me with your microphone, please. I would love that. What a cool story.
You're hilarious. That's so fun. Yeah, I'm the girl who got hit in the video.
True, that's a great
Where's
story.
that girl's TikTok? Right? I'd be all over that trying to get clout.
100%. That was me. Here's my experience.
Yeah.
100%. That would be ride that wave.
Ride that wave, girl. Ride that wave.
Yeah.
Speaking of someone who's really riding the wave, we can't get through this without talking about probably the longest standing scandal in reality TV.
The biggest scandal ever, arguably.
The fact that Vanderpump Rules is nominated for an Emmy.
That's something that, because we both like award-winning stuff. If you had asked me 5 years ago, I'm watching Vanderpump Rules on the regular. If you told me that they were going to be getting an Emmy or even just
solid
put up for an Emmy, I would literally spit out my water.
Right.
No way that's true.
Don't get me wrong. I will faint. And I did freak out when I saw Lisa Vanderpump.
Me too.
No shame in saying that. I try to act really cool around actors and what you'd call the film and TV entertainment industry. I see a housewife. I see an influencer. You're
geeking out.
I'm geeking out. I love Lisa Vanderpump. And the fact that this show is nominated for an Emmy, insane. But
Crazy.
Would have never happened. Also, controversial opinion maybe. I think if this hadn't happened, Vanderpump Rules was going to go on for maybe 2 more seasons.
If that. Literally, if that. They
were eking.
Like, obviously it wasn't good. I'm not condoning what they did, but like they really put the show back on top and made it so relevant when it was really like losing fans on a daily basis. When it was really like, I'd fallen off of it a little bit. Like I don't live in a world where we cut cords, so I don't have cable anymore. I'm not watching and I don't have the same access to all the reality shows that I used to when I was living at home and had cable. But so I haven't seen it in a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but I knew who all the players were, and so the best part of this all is that when this came out, I made a TikTok about it right away, and I can thank Scandival for getting me to 10K because that was the TikTok that brought me to the creator marketplace. So
we love that.
I'll thank them for that. But yeah,
we'll forever think that. Well, and here's the most interesting part for me: my best friends from college have always loved Vanderpump, and I was always like snotty, and I was like, I don't watch reality TV, whatever. Till COVID, I didn't watch it, and I still never watched Vanderpump Rules. And no, that's actually not true because they have those interesting episodes of Beverly Hills where they like introduce Vanderpump. And I remember watching the first episodes of Vanderpump Rules and I was like, maybe I should try this during COVID. And this, I swear to God, I'm not just saying this to get clout. I remember watching it and thinking, I was going to say Scandival, but
I know it's confusing.
Sandoval was a weirdo. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to watch this show.
Anybody who's watched the show, I feel like will have that sentiment that like Tom Sandoval is actually the worst. He is so a villain energy. He is so narcissistic, thinks that he is the creme de la creme. And like you are someone who's in their 40s and you have to pay people to be in a band with you.
Yeah. It's
like how losery.
It's so weird. And the funniest thing is now, post Scandival, I'm very into Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
Still, I can only take about a season, a binge, and then I need a break.
For sure.
But
it's mindless.
I am in season 3, which is like so parallel.
Yeah.
To this season 10.
Well, and that's like when it was like all the older people where it was like Stassi and Kristen and Jax. Like,
but it's like the stuff with Christian and Sandoval happens in this, and him and Ariana get together, and she like denies Miami Girl, and then
oh my God, Miami Girl.
It is just so mind-blowing to see that, like, unfortunately, some people just don't change.
No, people change, not Tom Sandoval, though.
He just doesn't.
And it sucks, too, because I think Tom Schwartz is I think he's so cute, so fun. But he is such of Tom Sandoval's puppy dog, just follows him everywhere. And then he gets grouped in with, like, this losery energy, and it's just like, grow a pair, dude. Be a man.
I feel for Tom Schwartz. I'm not gonna lie. I think I have a sweet spot for him. I mean, I'll have to see how I go through the rest of these seasons.
That's fair.
But I feel like he is a pawn in these games, and like,
I think, honestly, in the nicest way ever. And if he hears this, I'm so sorry, but I think he's too.
If he hears this, I'm doing something right.
I think he's too stupid to know better. I think he is. I think he doesn't know any better. In the nicest way possible. He doesn't know any better.
Bless you. But Raquel, Rachel, whatever she's going by, was just on Bethany's.
Yes, on
Lots
Bethany's.
Of podcast drama.
I know, so much podcast drama. You know what? Everything happens in the pods.
Everyone happens in the pods. Yeah. It's like funny that the redemption tour is now to go on someone's pod and tell it all.
Absolutely.
But yeah, she goes on Bethany Frankel's podcast.
And she just kind of not clears the. I mean, look, she's wrong no matter which way you slice it. Like
and she's not coming back.
Up. No, and she's not coming back this season. But she's like, I went to therapy. I saw all these people. I'm going back to my roots. I'm going by Rachel now. So like, she's dropping the Raquel, and she's she's not doubling down in it. She's like, what I did was wrong for sure. I mean,
good.
there's no way you can't slice it any different way. She was wrong. But she was like, looking back on it, I have like a lot of like intimacy issues, and I don't think I was actually in love with him, is what she was saying. And she was like, I don't actually think he was in love with me. We were two people who got caught up in the moment. He clearly was on
cameras.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that no one realized before.
But it's so obvious now.
Yeah, looking back on it, it is really obvious.
Yeah.
But like, if you had no idea, it's like, there's no way that that's happening, especially because the relationship that Raquel and Ariana had. They were so close, best friends. Like, I just like can't in good conscience imagine doing that to a friend in any right sort of mind. Like, who does that?
I know. I'm on like to lie on camera.
Yeah.
But I also like, I hate to say it, like fame, very much the course of this podcast though.
Yeah.
Fame, alcohol, money, exposure, it does something to everyone in a person. And like, that can't have not played a role in this whole thing.
For sure.
I think it's always going to play a role for Sandoval too.
Yeah, like, because his ego, he needs all of this to fill his ego.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll never forget what Ariana said. And she was like, you know, he's performing like on Halloween or something. And his like, you know, girl he's fucking and his girlfriend are standing in the front row.
Yeah.
And like, that doesn't give you an ounce of anxiety, sir.
Oh my God. I can't even, and I'm not dating exclusively anyone, but I can't even talk to two people at the same time without being like, I can't even like a boy's picture on Instagram without being like, oh, is so-and-so going to notice?
Right.
Like, and no one's paying attention to me. No one gives a shit about me.
Right.
And I get anxiety about that. So like, that's how freaking crazy Tom Sandoval is that like, he's so narcissistic that he thinks that he can get away with all this stuff and it's just not going to matter.
Right.
Because he's the greatest.
Oblivious.
Yeah.
And also, like, I think he's so indoctrinated by fame that, like, it just doesn't matter.
He loves it. He loves it. Yeah.
Like,
it's really crazy.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Not to switch the topic to somebody I love and am, you know, so saddened to see going through yet again another hard time.
Yet again.
I know. Britney.
Our girl Britney, she just, like, she's going through it. She's been going through it.
I, for the love of God, would be so happy if I wake up tomorrow and find out that Britney has been playing us in the press.
Oh my God, what a trip that
would
be.
Like, if she pulled a Spencer and Heidi and, like, all this was just for money and, like, you know, she's been doing crazy shit and everybody is just, like, getting a bag out of it and she, like, jokes on you. Nothing would make me happier, but...
I know, our girl Brit, she can't win is what it is. She just can't win. She thinks that she's, you know, turning the corner, seeing the bright light at the end of the tunnel, and then just everything comes crumbling down again. I am really sad for her, honestly. I'm not to be like naive, but like, I'm like, oh my God, they were in love. And like, anytime someone gets divorced, I'm like, oh my God, no, like not them. They were so happy together. Like, I'm sure there's other circumstances and stuff, but I'm sad for her.
I'm sad for her. I'm sad for her too. I feel like she's just been dealt such a hard hand, dragged in the media. Yeah. Conservatorship, up, down, left, right. We still don't know what's going on.
And then she finally got married to who we thought was like the love of her life.
Right.
But it's crazy because he's the one accusing her. So he thinks that she was cheating with
she was cheating
with one of the housekeepers, someone who was on their grounds. Yeah.
I mean, we don't know left, right, up, or down.
Yeah, honestly, but like, don't think she knows either.
Yeah, I mean, then that's just it's just sad. I feel like we just give this girl a break.
I know, give this girl a break.
Give her absolutely a break. And like the social media is just spin about what's going on with her. And like, I have the ickiest feeling in my stomach because I will never forget. I went to Vegas. I don't remember when it was, but I was like in a cab in Vegas and I was talking about Britney and her then boyfriend, who's now her husband, who she's getting divorced from.
Sam.
And the cab driver said to me, like, something, and you know how, like, cab drivers in Vegas know, like, just a little bit.
Yeah.
They know.
They've got the tea.
He said Sam was in it for the money.
Honestly, I could see that.
And I was like, no. And I didn't want to believe that.
You don't want to believe it.
And then I hear they're getting divorced, and you know who I think about? That cab driver who told me that.
Yep. It comes full circle. I could honestly, like, there's been rumors about him since day one that he's not a good guy. He's in it for the money. I mean, who knows what Britney did? Maybe she cheated, maybe she didn't. I guess we'll never really know.
Yeah.
He's saying that she assaulted him in his sleep, gave him like a black eye, like the craziest allegations. And like, this poor girl's like really been through the ringer. Like, I just wanted it to work out for her and for her to be happy. But like, people have been really speculating since the beginning of their relationship that he's not a good guy.
Yeah. And like, Britney is just really taken the media, like up her for like ever.
I know, forever. She's kind of trapped, honestly. Like,
she's trapped.
I don't think it's something's clearly going on with her that we will never know about, and she's just.
And I think people just
different.
have to accept that.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I'm like, I want everything to stop. Just like let her be, turn it off. Don't care.
Well, it's sad too because she has children and like they're old enough now where they can see things that are in the media and like they're seeing all the stuff about their mom and like whether or not they have a relationship with her, whatever their status is with them right now. Like, it's really sad that there's people involved who are going to be see this and like getting hurt.
Yeah, it's so interesting now seeing people who are so in the spotlight and them have kids.
Yeah.
And all their dirty laundry is already aired on the line. We already all know it. And then their kids are going to be able to dig it up.
Well, that's like the Kardashian kids.
I was literally going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah, just like, and I feel like a lot of this past season, Kim was like really making sure that she was like, I'm going to be like, my kids will know nothing different. Like anything I can protect them from for as long as I can protect them from it. Like they will just think that like mom and dad loved each other, didn't work out, but that their dad is like the best person, even though we know that Kanye is insane and says crazy things. But like she, I feel like does such a good job of making sure that her kids just know that like their dad is like the best person on the planet. He's the best dad, loves them so much. And I feel like all of them, I mean, I feel like Kourtney did that with Scott. I think Khloe does that with True. I'm sure Kylie does it with Travis. Like, you know, they really put their men up on pedestals, and I think that they do like, not that I know them personally, but I feel like they do a really
feel like we do.
Well, nor that I'm a parent, but I feel like they do a really good job of like, you know, trying to raise their kids to be the most normal and protected from the media as much as they can.
Yeah, and it's just like that's gonna be there forever. And like we all, in my opinion, need to watch our mouths, what we say to everybody else about what they're doing.
100%.
And I've been dying to talk about this. People are so fucking bold in the comment section.
So bold. What is wrong with people?
So
like, where do they get off leaving in comments anonymously, or like thinking that like, sure, it's just a person behind a screen, but like, where do people get off leaving these rude ass comments?
And it wouldn't be this podcast without us touching on something with social media. Like, I have the smallest platform.
No, not even.
Well, that's nice. But people leave the rudest fucking comments on my shit. And it's like,
it's crazy.
I'm like, I don't think it stings that bad. Maybe it does to you, whatever, up, down. But like the audacity to say something is just
You have to be a really
insane.
evil person to be like typing behind a computer and saying nasty. I mean, even like I barely have that many followers, and like people are commenting on my stuff all the time, talking about like my appearance, my voice, like all, and I'm just like, okay, Karen, like who gave you the right to like judge me?
Who gave you that? Like, and I'm like, also like put yourself out on the internet,
right?
Like, and now like I know there's so many bigger creators or like people in this like, you know, creation producing space that put themselves out there and they get so much of that. And you're like, it's part of the job. It's part of the job. And it's like, we also do that to celebrities.
Yeah.
And like, it is part of the job. But like, also like, if you aren't putting yourself out there, why are you commenting on other people's stuff like that? And I will be the first to admit that it has become harder and harder and harder. And if I listen to this in a year and I've slid down, fine, whatever. I don't care. It is so hard not to comment back to people.
I know. It is really hard.
So I want to.
Yeah.
And I just keep telling myself to be above it. But at the same time, I'm like, well, let's get this more engagement. It's a tricky addiction.
You know what? Things for a little engagement, though, never hurt. And that's not coming from someone who is also trying to grow a platform. You know, engagement's engagement, whether it's good or it's bad.
So do we comment back or not?
I think it depends. It's like, if it's like a cause that you're trying to fight, fine. If it's like really at the end of the day, like this person is clearly the biggest loser behind a screen ever and they need to get a fucking life, then like not worth your time or energy. Like people just, it's really crazy. Like people comment on my stuff like no one gives a shit. And I'm like, okay, well you might not, but this video got 10,000 likes. So clearly there's a lot of people who do.
Yeah, I'm like, then scroll past.
It's really easy to scroll. If I decide I don't like something, I'm usually pretty sure of it within 3 seconds and I'll keep scrolling. It's not that hard. And I don't need to leave a nasty comment.
It's hilarious that I feel this way. I feel like when we were in high school, people were like, don't post this on Facebook. Don't post this on MySpace. And we've just completely let that go now or something. Yeah. And now it's like, whatever you do, whatever, it's all fine, whatever. I'm like, no, maybe we should act a little ridiculous and be like, don't do this, don't do that. And like scale it back, because I just don't believe people should be bold in the comment section at all. Like, it's just, it's not your place.
And like, I'm all for a little civil discourse where it's like, you know, you maybe don't agree.
I don't know if I'm even for a little civil discourse.
If it's like an intellectual conversation, I think I could like stand behind it. But if it's just someone being blatantly mean and just rude just to be rude, it's like, get a life. What are you doing?
I think that this kind of energy that you feel enough to go write a comment, if you feel it that much, it is a reason enough to call friends, see a friend, and discuss it in person.
Right.
Oh, Take it offline.
Take it offline. Yeah.
Take it offline.
It's honestly just really losery energy. It's just like, get a life. Get a life.
This is it. This is it.
Yeah. It's just someone sitting behind a computer screen who, you know, gets no attention during the day and they feel the need to air out their dirty laundry and the way that they feel on random people's videos. It's insane.
It's insane. And it's like, I've listened to podcasts, I've seen clips, and I've felt like this is out of touch. This is privilege. This is a little anti-Semitic, a little racist, whatever.
Yeah.
And like, I think that, and I don't put it.
Yeah, not everything needs a comment or response.
Don't take away your opinion. Don't take away your view. But like,
Yeah.
do we need to add like, you know, a match to a conversation that isn't a fire?
Right, absolutely.
I don't know. People are bold in the comment section.
Very bold. You know, they're getting, you know, really confident with their keyboard.
So confident with the keyboard. You know, I just think it's always important to return to a little bit of talk about where social media and social media mental health is headed in this podcast. And it's been growing, and the fact that it's trickled so far down to even like small creators is just like, I don't know. Like, we don't need to all feel that empowered all the time.
No, definitely not.
No.
Some things are better left unsaid. Not everything needs to be said. I think is, you know, the moral of the story.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Lauren, as always, you are such a joy back here on Confessions of a Wannabe It Girl, our resident gossip expert. As always, tell everybody where they can find you.
Lauren's latest on TikTok. It's latest with an L8test. And then my Instagram is just my name. So that's where you can find me. I, you know, usually am posting all the hot gossip on, you know, the entertainment world. So.
And we love it. We love our little gossip episodes.
Heck yeah.
As always, thank you so much to our resident gossip expert, Lauren. Love you. Guys, thank you so much for listening to Confessions of a Wannabe It Girl. As always, we'll see you next Tuesday.